Hello everyone. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Uh, Welcome, everyone. My name is Kevin Yakina, or you can call me Yakina Junior. I am an entrepreneur and I am also an entertainment and media personality. I focus and I specialize in some of the key sectors within the E and M industry in Africa. And so today, it's been a long time coming for me to come and actually grace this moment, share this space with you. So I can, yeah, it's been a long time coming. I've been in the shadows for a while, but I think it is time for me to come and share with you what has been happening behind the scenes. And so, yeah, having said what I'm doing and what I specialize in, I specialize in some of the key sectors of the industry, that's the entertainment and media industry. And some of these key sectors music, sports, and filmmaking. So, as an entrepreneur, starting a business within Africa's E&M industry is a great idea for me, especially given the continent's vibrant and rapidly growing creative sector. In some of the most sought after areas within music, as I've said, sports and filmmaking. I believe a solution to one of the major problems countries in Africa and other developing nations have been dealing with lies within the gap between the knowledge we have and the skills associated with them. So I also believe that if we can be able to bridge this gap, connect the knowledge with some good skills that can be able to 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 actually create business opportunities in the industry and be able to come up with a scalable distribution model for these solutions, then we can be one step forward in solving the unemployment challenge in the industry, and most importantly in the continent at large. So having talked about the sectors that I specialize in, which are very key in the industry, just to explain or elaborate to you more on them, starting with music. So in music, in this sector, I am going to focus on some of the areas and these areas, they are more of business oriented. And so one of the areas that we are going to look at going forward is streaming and digital distribution. With the rise of digital platforms, understanding the dynamics of streaming services, digital rights management, and how artists can monetize their music online is very crucial. Number two is artist development and management. There's growing need for structured pathways to emerging artists for training and branding, to connecting them with the right labels and platforms. Then another one is cross-border collaborations, exploring opportunities for African artists to collaborate with the international artists, tapping into global markets, which is very important, very, very key. And then the next one is music publishing. The industry needs more focus on rights management, royalties, and publishing to ensure that artists are compensated fairly. And then finally, in this sector, we are going to look at the cultural and genre-based research, where we are going to focus so much on doing research so that we can be able to understand the evolution of Afrobeat, amapiano, and other African music genres like bongo, gengeton in Kenya, and how they influence global trends. So that is one of the sectors that we are going to explore extensively. And then on the other sector we talked about is sports. In sports also a very key sector in the entertainment industry. And in some of the areas that we're going to look at, number one is talent scouting and development. There's demand for identifying and nurturing young talents across Africa, across various sports, with a focus on creating pathways to professional careers. And then we have sports marketing and sponsorship. Research into how sports brands can engage with African audiences and how local sports teams can attract sponsorship. So actually, where I stay, where I live, there's a training ground where young people and the youth always gather to do some sort of training, and even some football events and football tournaments that happens there. And I am really motivated. I'm really motivated that this is a platform that, if we actually support well, can really can really bring a very positive impact to the young lads in the pitch. And because when you look at them when they're playing, you can see most of them do not have the kits that are required, that are needed. Some of them don't play in same uniform, so like it's locally there's a lot to be done. That's why, like, in this sector, we are in the process of doing a research into how sports brands can engage with African audiences, and how local sports team can attract sponsorship. And the next thing in this sector is the esports. The rise of esports is creating new opportunities, of course, especially among the youth. When you walk in some of around some of our high-end estates, you'll find playstations, and you'll get very many youths in there. So understanding the market dynamics and potential growth areas is going to be very key. And then the next one is sports media rights, analyzing the management of media rights. Analyzing the management of media rights for broadcasting local and regional sports events is very important. As you can see, like most, especially in Kenya, most of the local sports events are not being broadcasted, and these are the platforms, these are the events that we get to notice and pinpoint very upcoming and promising players. And for example, a player that is actually doing very well in the national team, the Harambee Stars, Austin Odhiambo was just spotted in one of the local sports events. So managing these media rights for broadcasting and local, and actually analyzing how they can be developed and made available for the local events is very important. And then the last one in this sports sector is sports infrastructure development. Researching in the investment and development of facilities and how they impact community engagement and talent development. This is very, very important because, to say the truth, guys, if the government did not invest heavily on some on our key stadiums, Nyayo and Kasarani, Kenya wouldn't be like hosting the CHAN 2024. So you've seen the impact that that competition, that tournament has brought to the sports industry in Kenya. It is very important. It is very important, the investment and development of facilities and how they impact community engagement and talent development. Very important. You have seen that some interest for some of Harambee Stars key players from Europe and other very important leagues. This is what we need to start talking about. So that is for sports. And ladies and gentlemen, the last sector that I would be talking a lot about is filmmaking. And one of the areas in filmmaking that we are going to look into is the content distribution, where we'll be trying to understand the dynamics of film distribution within Africa and traditional cinema to digital platforms like Netflix, Showmax, and Amazon Prime. The next thing in this sector is the co-production opportunities. We need to do research and maybe elaborate on try to understand into cross-border collaboration between African filmmakers and international studios, focusing on funding and distribution. In this area, Netflix is doing a really good job in terms of funding locally and culturally rich projects for Africa, and Kenya has been really, they have been really taking advantage of this opportunity, and we need to give more insights on how we can take advantage of such kind of opportunities so that we can grow our own industry, because we know we have Showmax, that is African platform, distribution platform, and Netflix also coming in with a very tremendous, a very huge support. But as African, we need to build our own industry where we get to produce our own projects and then get to distribute them locally. Very important. And then looking into the next one, we have cultural storytelling. This is something that this is one of the key thing that made me get interested in storytelling, because of what Nigerians are doing, how Nollywood was actually built. If to say the truth, those Nigerians, those people, they are telling their stories, stories that are culturally rich, that are tradition based, and very unique. When you want to watch African dramas, there's no country that is telling African drama than Nigerians. So exploring the demand for stories rooted in African culture, myths, and history, and how they can be marketed globally, it's very important. It's very important for us. And then the last one in this sector for filmmaking is the film funding and investment. In here, we'll try to do research, and we'll try to elaborate for you guys on how we can identify sources of funding for independent filmmakers and research the viability of film investment funds in Africa. There are very many organizations, institutions that are actually funding African projects, film projects, but we need to get more information on them, on how like they're modeling their funding sources. So yeah. So that is actually in brief what we'll be talking about. We'll be discussing issues, business issues on sports, on music, and on filmmaking. And so to make a summary of everything that I have talked about, what we'll be looking into going forward from today. And now that I have made this public, you already know what I am about and what I'm intended to share with you, those who are interested in the entertainment and media industry in Africa. So, number one, we'll be looking into, like, just to give a summary into market trends, stay updated on the latest trends in the entertainment consumption across Africa, particularly in urban and rural settings. And then number two, we'll be looking and we'll be focusing keenly on the policy and regulation, understanding the regulatory landscape in different countries, especially copyright laws, censorship, and other legal considerations. And then finally, we'll be looking into the technology integration, understanding the regulatory areas such as on AI and VR, AI, VR, and blockchain on the entertainment industry in Africa. So this platform, what we are trying to create, what we are building, can indeed provide the solution needed by the African entertainment industry. By focusing on market analysis, strategy development, and providing actionable insights, it can help stakeholders navigate challenges, identify opportunities, and drive growth in the music, sports, and filmmaking sectors across Africa. So, and then this in turn will contribute to the development of a more robust, sustainable, and globally competitive entertainment industry on the continent. Africa's entertainment industry, while rich in talent, of course, and cultural diversity, faces several challenges that hinders its full potential. Some of the major challenges across the music, sports, and filmmaking sectors, and how business research function or any other business within the industry could provide the necessary solution. But the challenges we'll be discussing on another set of discussion that we are planning to hold. So that is just an overview of what we'll be talking about. I really appreciate you guys taking your time to share this space with me. I don't take it for granted, and for those who have actually followed my account on social media, my name is Kevin Nyakina, or Nyakina Junior, in all social media platform, on X, on Instagram, on YouTube, in TikTok. Just Nyakina Junior. I would appreciate if you actually follow my account at Nyakina Junior, so that we can be able to start discussing on issues that can help us actually grow and develop an ecosystem that drives the entertainment industry. It is very important, guys, because as you can see, East Africa has got a lot of talents, massive experience, especially in the music and filmmaking. In Kenya, for example, we have very experienced group of filmmakers, the likes of Botita, the likes of the Philid production team, my friend Mkurugenzi Abel, and Kina Jungush. We have very exciting filmmakers, and I really appreciate them. I really appreciate them pioneering, creating a way for people like us to actually come and join them. It is a very exciting moment that we find ourselves in the same place, in the same space, with the same passion, with the same dream to build an industry that is like Hollywood. Of course, we have an industry in Africa that is doing pretty well, that is Nollywood, and not to forget to mention that South Africans are also doing better. But I am a Kenyan, and I come from East Africa, and I just feel that we are not doing much in terms of trying to create our own industry. We need to give the Nollywood team a competitive environment. We need to at least try to actually tell them that we see what they're doing, and we are also working on a way to build our own industry, so that we can collaborate as Africa and build an industry that can actually promote development and growth, and that can actually help the entire continent in solving the most challenging problem that we are having, especially among the youth, that is the unemployment. So it is a very important time. It is a very important moment that I get to share this with you. And I really appreciate you guys giving me the space to at least talk to you about music, talk to you about sports, and talk to you about filmmaking. It's going to be a very exciting time as we grow together. So cheers, guys. I really don't take this for granted. So take your time to actually follow what we are doing. It's going to be a very good learning platform for all of us in the industry. Thank you so much, and ideas.